catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. We're the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. To our clips, stay tuned to our clips. So subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Ginger Media, your life feels sweet. In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Ginger Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe. Connects us together, no matter the road. Watch us rise, hear the voices roar. Unity and diversity, together we soar. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. From entertainment to the news that's real, showcasing our culture, that's the deal. Diaspora dreams in a vibrant space. Ginger Media TV, setting the pace. Join the journey, it's a vibrant ride. Ginger Media TV, we stand with pride. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. Subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Ginger Media, your life feels sweet. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. To our clips, stay tuned to our clips. So subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Ginger Media, your life feels sweet. In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Ginger Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe. Connects us together, no matter the road. Watch us rise, hear the voices roar. Unity and diversity, together we soar. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. From entertainment to the news that's real, showcasing our culture, that's the deal. Diaspora dreams in a vibrant space. Ginger Media TV, setting the pace. Join the journey, it's a vibrant ride. Ginger Media TV, we stand with pride. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. Subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Ginger Media, your life feels sweet. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs, news and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. To our clips, stay tuned to our clips. So subscribe today, don't miss a beat. With Ginger Media, your life feels sweet. In the heart of the city where stories unfold, Ginger Media TV shining bright and bold, bringing news from the corners of the globe. Connects us together, no matter the road. Watch us rise, hear the voices roar. Unity and diversity, together we soar. Ginger Media TV, where the world aligns. African stories and catchy designs. News and entertainment at your fingertips. With the pulse of the people, stay tuned to our clips. From entertainment to the news that's real, showcasing our culture, that's the deal.
So, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. It's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting evening. Interesting evening. Interesting evening. Um, I believe many of us watched my video yesterday that I made when the governor cried yesterday morning. It's been raining cat and mouse in the part of this world. As you all know, this is what I call the rougher fight of supremacy. The camps are divided. The governor knows that this is the time to assert himself. If he fails to assert himself, um, he can take this to the bank. The governor may be used for pepper soup. He may not recover from this. So he knows it's a question of life and death. And if he wants to remain the executive governor of Rivers State, this election is to make him to be retained as the governor of Rivers State, or become a puppet and likely likely impeached. Now, now, as you know, people have taken sides. Today, what we're going to be looking at is the election itself and the narrative that Wike lost his polling unit. For those who do not understand what is happening in Rivers State, let me backtrack a little bit so that you follow me, you follow the trajectory when we get into the analysis here. Because you may be wondering, what actually is the issue? Why do I keep hearing about the Supreme Court, the appeal court, and all this? We'll take it step by step, right? But there's something that is very important also to note, and I must start this way. Let's do elementary introduction. The governor of Rivers State, Fubara, is from the PDP, People's Democratic Party. He won the election March 2023. That election was, some said the election was rigged, but INEC said the election was not rigged. But we all know what actually happened, right? But that's not the conversation for today. Whether the election was won, the election was rigged. One thing that is very important is he is now the governor of Rivers State. You can't take it away. Just like at the federal level, we all know that the election was snatched, grabbed, and run. Irrespective of how you feel, whether you lost the election, you think you won the election, it's irrelevant. The issue is you have someone, quote unquote, who is now being referred as the commander in chief of the federation, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, you go bang your head in the wall. If you survive, good for you. So in Rivers State, there is a governor who has been there for the past 1 year. Now, the Supreme Court, this started with Buhari, where Buhari said the local government fund must have to go to the local government. Eventually, Tinubu came in and took it a notch higher, got a judgment from the Supreme Court, and eventually part of that judgment states that for you to continue receiving local government allocation, you must conduct local government election, which is good in principle. If you look at it, that is good for democracy. Why should other tier of government actually commingle the resources meant for the one that we can best adjudge to be the one closest to the people. Now, the governor, as a result of this, says, okay, election has to go on. Now, there is counter argument here and there. To clarify what I mean, that these, for us to understand what is happening, there is this interview with a son that is, who argues that, and very forcefully too, that the state has nothing, that this lies within the jurisdiction of River State, and that the state has absolutely no reason to listen to any other court outside the state, which, in my view, is common sense, right? It's common sense. So let's listen to this.
It's an unfortunate.
Now, in this interview, he clearly mentioned that what is happening in River State is very unfortunate, right? So, as a basis for us to understand what is happening in River State before we get to the election proper, this interview will lay the background for many who probably have not been following and paying attention as to what is happening. Listen to this.
Unfortunate development, very, very unfortunate, because what is an issue is a local government election. I don't know what the Federal High Court has to do with that. It is not part of the enumerated jurisdiction that it has pursuant to Section 2411 of the Nigerian Constitution. I don't know what the Federal High Court has to do with an election in a state. That is a state affair.
Did you hear as that much? That this is a state affair. There is court in the state. If there are any disputes, if there are any disagreement, the court within the state ought to decide this. I mean, that is separation of powers. But maybe because there are some individuals who think that they get their powers from Abuja, quote unquote, the center of Nigerian powers of today, believe that they can make calls. Certain judges will listen to them and do things that you may think, or things that many of us will say that are abnormal, because they are at their beck and call. And this is what he now goes on to explain the difference between these two courts.
So for the High Court to struggle into that area, I think it's taking this thing a little bit too far. What is the business of the Federal High Court in a state affair? When it leaves federal affair and goes to state affair, then it has not done anything, because like we say, once you don't have jurisdiction, once you have without jurisdiction, you've wasted everybody's time. So the Federal High Court making such an order is an aberration. I don't think the judge should have made such an order. He should have declined jurisdiction quickly. Because in deciding whether you have jurisdiction or not, the first thing you ask yourself as a judge is, what is the main issue in this matter before me?
I like the way the elderly son sounds. He appears to be a man with common sense, which is not common anymore. It appears that when people get closer to the rock in the Aso, either the water they drink within the vicinity, the three-arm zone that has the judiciary on one side, the legislative on one side, the executive on one side, less than 3 to 5 miles radius. Maybe whenever you come close to that, there appears to be some radiations that turns the brain upside down. This is the same area that suddenly removed and meant nothing in the Constitution again. Story for another day.
Is it policemen? No. What is it about? It is election in Rivers State. Now, if it's about election in Rivers State, do I have jurisdiction over election in Rivers State?
Of course, you have jurisdiction over election in Rivers State if somebody, I don't even know how to count again, but if somebody, yes, of course, with that you can have
The
jurisdiction.
answer is straight, no.
You're saying no now because you're a man of integrity. But if something happens like this, why
Then
would
the judge should give them back the file and say, go to Rivers State.
No, of course, the judge can't do that because why? Something we believe has
To
happened.
this Rivers State Court. So the judge making that order in the first place is, I think that is where the confusion started. Because if the judge had done the proper thing and said, I do not have jurisdiction, go to Rivers State, we will not have all this confusion that is now plaguing us all over. So the problem is caused by unnecessary interference by the Federal High Court in the local affairs of Rivers State.
Now, you have listened to this. This actually brings something to mind today. Before now, I was thinking that Nigerians are so raw and so lawless that without the police, the presence of the police, that Nigerians are incapable of conducting elections. But maybe Rivers State is beginning to prove otherwise. The election in Rivers State today was peaceful. You know why? Maybe because the police stayed away. Come to think of it, the places you had confusion are the places the police now came back, destroy materials, cut away materials, now say elections will not hold. Keep that in one part of our head. As a result of what you're seeing, yesterday, when police invaded, I will not use the word invaded now loosely here, when the police invaded River State yesterday to say that this election is not going to happen, and the governor said no. And at that point, I said to myself, this is the point where if this governor who has beaten, if he lets go, he will be devoured. I mean, as in boya kere. At this point, he can no longer let go, because if he does, 48 laws of power, okay, they go do you use pepper soup. Let's get the governor again to refresh our mind. We're heading somewhere. To refresh our mind, let's hear the governor. But before we hear him, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Mazes, okay, here at Benji Media TV. If this is your first time of joining us live, if you want to make comment, you must subscribe to this platform to drop your comment. I say, please, just click the like button, drop your comment for us to continue. Again, if you want to support us with super stickers and super chats, thank you very much. One man went to the mall. I can see Sema Azikedu. I am doing all right. I'm here. We are looking at this now. And this governor made this yesterday. Please share, like. Okay, just share and like. Share to so many groups. Thank you very much. So look at what the governor said yesterday.
That way we are secretive. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do, do it. The election will go, result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here.
You see, at this point, I said, you don't tell now. He said the election must hold, whether I like it or not. Even if Tinubu walks from London, comes into Rivers, election must hold. If Wike packs all the military men, comes into River State, election must hold. Result will be declared. People will be sworn in. See, that is at this point that any man, woman with grey matters in between the skull will know he has crossed the Rubicon, a point of no return. Because if he ever subfeathers after this, then he's toast. As in,
that way we are secretive. But this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do it. The election result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it? I want
Man, this particular video, I've watched it. I said, huh? Even goats, they say, can bite. You know, there is a way. Fubara, an accountant, very smart Alec, you know, worked with Wike, but very quiet on a reserved side. I give it to him. But he has been pushed to the wall that, I tell you, if you're in a room with a goat and you push a goat to the wall, the kind of injury that goat will give you, the kind of injury that goat will give you, he say, na lion do me this, I mean, a goat do me this. And I think the governor has gotten to that point where he's now, you know, taking charge. But on a lighter note, the election held, some people say that as the election held, the results were declared, this then happened.
of this. As old as you are. As old as you are. Yes, sir. You will never change.
In this case, I don't know. Go and sit down. I'm already sitting down. But anyway, so this video has been trending because they say this is the song that Fubara is now singing. But suddenly there is a twist to the whole thing. The police went in to cut away on camera the same thing they did in some parts of Benin. Cut away material. What a shameful act that those paid with our money to protect lives, properties, will go and be the one destroying same thing that they ought to. The dog that eats the bone in its collar. What manner of nonsense that the Nigerian police will be doing? Is it that their brains is just because being controlled remotely from Abuja? Would they talk that one as if we never finish? This matter go long. Go buy data if you don't get data. Suddenly, Asari Dokubo came into the flare. Asari Dokubo said that Abuja sent helicopters hovering around his house, that they must warn Abuja. If care is not taken, he will go and arrest Wike, and he said he will go and catch Wike. He didn't say arrest. He said he will go and catch Wike, and that if care is not taken, he will shoot down the helicopter. Say, wait a minute. As Minister of Defense or as Minister of what? Does Wike own helicopters, or the helicopters belong to the Nigerian Army or the Nigerian Police? And the private citizen is threatening a sovereign nation to shoot down its helicopter. Whether the job the helicopter came to do is illegal or not, we don't know yet. But you see that thing there? Don't worry. Evidence there, evidence plenty. We'll see it, we'll watch it. But as a result of what has happened in Rivers State, some people, there are some areas the result has already been announced, right? There are some areas that the Rivers State elders have come out to say, this is arrant nonsense. What has happened is unbelievable. We cannot even believe that these things are happening in our own state. And they have come out to say, no, they organized a press conference. But on the other hand, as the governor said, listen. That's why I say, pay attention to this. No be small. He said the election must hold, whether you like it or not. Listen to this again. You now see that exactly as he said here, it's already happening.
That way we are secrecy. but this election must hold. If you like whatever it is you want to do it. The election will vote, result will be declared. People will be sworn in. I say it here. What kind of a country is it?
You think he's joking? Election is already done. People already won. The last part of swearing in is what has not been done. But the people themselves are already carrying the winner, carrying them up, say you are the winner now, but Biakpo, Popo or whatever it's called. Look at how they were declaring result peacefully. Apparently, Nigerians will have to look into this. It appears the police is actually the problem of Nigerians' election. It appears because the election was peaceful without the police. Think about it. Not me, my mouth when I go here say somebody shit inside us. I know if it
The LGA returning officer for Opobo Okoro local government.
Now, this is the LGA returning officer for Opobo declaring the winner of this election in that vicinity.
Hereby announce the candidate of Action People's Party, APP, Right Honorable Inyada Kukiga, having pulled the highest vote cast, the winner of the October 5th, 2024 local government election in Opobo Okoro, Rivers State. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you see this result announced in this particular local government, right? The winner is there. You hear APP, not PDP. Why is because of the crisis between Wike and Fubara. The governor appeared to have outsmarted Wike, left him with the empty carton, because he asked all the people that he knows that's going to win this election to move to put into a party called APP. They all moved into APP. PDP is crying. APC is crying. Only APP that appears to be taking the lead here, right? Again, when we talk about this court injunction, you see that the police is actually overreaching, because the judgment is not to go and stop election. The judgment was, well, do not provide security. Suddenly, they did not provide security. It is then only when security was not provided that security now became boku nyafu, nyafu, nyafu. It means maybe those people that are supposed to provide security for us are actually the people behind the insecurity. I don't know, but deductive analysis. Some of you are saying, Wami Kais is saying, no vote buying too. Does that mean that they are the ones holding the bags for the vote buying or protecting those for the vote buying? This would give us, we should start thinking whether we actually need them in the election, because it appears we may not need them. But here, the guy that was elected as local government chairman. Oh, not today they happen.
From Aslam, I hear from him.
First and foremost, let me thank God Almighty and also close to His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, for standing to say that this local government election must be conducted for people to have a state independence. And also say that people of the local government have also explained their law for the candidate, which is illegal. And I want to assure them that this government belongs to them and they are also going to be also smart. Yes, having considered international policies, I assured them of human capital.
You see, this reinforces the need for devolution of powers. Powers decentralized from Abuja. Power to the people. Let the people make their choices. If they make the wrong choice, let them sink with it. It appears that Rivers State made their choice. But again, as a platform that we are balanced in all we do, not everywhere, to sit down here to tell you, oh, everybody came out in Rivers State and voted. No, I will be lying to you. I mean, on this platform, we don't. But we have to also say to you that there is also another side of this, that in Rivers State, there are some areas that the Wike-led faction, because this is now factionalized, they also went to the street protesting, saying that there should be no election, that they are boycotting the election. Now, this is the PDP that have boycotted the election, and the election happened with or without them. The content of the carton has been taken. They are now left with empty boxes. So these, as you have seen, they are there protesting. But while that is also going on, moments ago, the elders in Rivers State have also come out to say, no. As we say in my place, they basically come out to say, no. We must also lend our voice, because what is now happening, what the police done today, is not right. We must also condemn that. And the elders have come together in this press conference and had the following to say.
News of some 24, to the disturbing news of some rogue policemen allegedly attempted.
Now, even the papa, even these elders, the monarchs, you see what the language he used, rogue policemen. They are now even using the right adjective for them, rogues, because that's what they are. Rogue policemen. Listen to him again. Rogue policemen allegedly now came to disrupt the
Residents of Rivers State woke up today, 4th October 2024, to the disturbing news of some rogue policemen allegedly attempted to break into the office of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission recently, with the intent of tampering with electoral materials meant for the Rivers State local government election on Saturday, 5th October 2024. We hereby call on the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR to call the police to order so that they do not, by their actions, which are now clearly partisan, cause trouble in Rivers State. Call on the President to call to order any person or group of persons trying to use the police to cause a breach of peace in Rivers State. Because if Rivers State is allowed for whatever political interest to return to the dark days of disorder, the nation will be ultimate loser.
So now,
Call on all residents of.
well, as of yesterday, when they made this press statement to say this, the invasion that happened in the early hours of yesterday, basically. But we also have videos indicating how peaceful this election was. And also, for instance, this is one of the polling units. Can you believe that a polling unit without a single presence of the police, the people that you may consider, oh, they are going to cause trouble, do this, look at how peaceful they are.
How many units do you have here?
We have 2 units. This is unit 18. You can also see the ballot paper are all intact. There's no completing. The ballot box is also empty. We are ready for election. Please, you can all queue up so we can start.
You see? Nobody, no pushing, no shoving. I mean, isn't that how would I say that? Isn't that an indication that actually that if Nigerians as citizens actually want something to work, they could actually do that, right? Do Nigerians actually need to be babysitted for them to know what is right and what is wrong? Do they need to be babysitted? Do they, do they need someone to basically say, I don't know. Honestly, these things are really, really, sometimes word fail me. Now, in one part, we now have this happen in River State. You have seen how peaceful the other one is. Then you now see another one that is not as peaceful as the other, where the talks that again, we don't know, but obviously those against the elections are being accused as the talks behind this destruction.
Wow. It be your own brothers. It be your own brothers. Look at them. I'm videoing them. Atako compound live. Live action. Atako compound live. Oh, good one, you follow. Okay. Okay, look at them destroying our polling units.
They destroy our polling units.
Look at them. I will video you destroying our polling units.
Okay. You see them in some areas, the destruction of polling units obviously was was ongoing, right? You now ask, some actually said that Wike, that in his own polling unit, to be fair and balanced, some say that in his own polling unit, that election did not take place, while others say he lost the polling unit, whether losing or whether he lost it or whether he won it. But here is, from video evidence so far available to us, this is what we can say that happened in Wike's polling unit.
As you can see, the election is ongoing and very peaceful. This is Rumigbo, Obiakpo, in Obiakpo local government area, Ward 12. The election is very peaceful. One of the most peaceful elections in Rivers State. The people are here to vote their choice of political candidates. Today is October 5th, 2024. And this is Obiakpo. As you can see, the election is ongoing and very peaceful.
Okay.
This is Rumigbo, Obiakpo, in Obiakpo local government area, Ward 12.
So
The election
for
is very
him,
peaceful.
the election was very peaceful. For him, the election was very peaceful. There are people who also have different views, right? Because what our job here is to show you, different views of people, whether they think that the election was peaceful or whether they think that the election was manipulated in any way, shape, or form, right? Now listen.
At Abo Road, they went there, the candidate of the APP and other members, his entourage, they went to Abo Road Center. I am the councillorship candidate for Falga Ward 5 in Labour Party. Okay. And I have been working with my people, my agents. They are calling me situations, especially here in St. Mary's, where we have 8 units, unit 1 to 8. They brought the RISEC officials that came here, they brought only 4 units, telling the people that they should work with 4 units, and that if they vote with 4 units and time gets to a certain level, if they don't see the rest units, that they should allow it to be so. First observation that I got was when the materials came. The materials was dispersed by the former councillor of this ward in the person of Awoye, and also the materials, they carried it with the current councillor of the APP, his motto. They carried the materials with his motto from government house down to this place. His name is Monima Oju. All the units, it is those same set of persons that carry this materials and dispatch these materials to those units. So I am asking if that is constitutional for a candidate like me, for me to go to government house, get material that is supposed to be carried by RISEC officials and distribute to every unit in Ward 5. And my concern now is at Abo Road. They went there, the candidate of the APP and other members, his entourage, they went to Abo Road Center, telling all my agents to remove their tags and get out from that place, that this election has already been written, that it has been settled, that they should know that this is a governor election, that governor has already decided that the APP is taking the day. But I am contesting fairly, and I believe that the governor is a peace and law-abiding citizen. So I don't expect this. That is why I went there, bought my form, and I am exercising my franchise as a member and a citizen of this state.
So now, obviously, you can hear the allegation that the Labour Party person is putting up there. In his view, this election is, his argument that this election was already compromised by those from the, current governor's party. Well, not the governor is still PDP, but he has a party that he is supporting, that he has asked his people to move into, and that party is the APP, right? On the other hand, the people that were supposed to, quote unquote, make the election peaceful, that is the vigilantes, somewhat in various camps, were also seen fighting in Rivers State.
Government. People are fighting just because 1 or 2 Matthias, inefficient men. I can shot, I can go shot everywhere. See men, Ospak and Mercies sharing themselves live, shooting live. Shooting live in the gutter. Going government everywhere. Live. People are running. No peace in the gutter for now. Everybody's running. Life in the gutter. Life, featuring gun. Men are chasing us back. Us back are chasing men. See my wicked men. Men's fighting themselves. Brother kill brother because of 1 or 2 Matthias. The men you're fighting with, you're fighting for, they're in their house, enjoying themselves. You people are here killing yourself. It's good that you go your government.
The young man that basically captured it purple. People you are fighting for are in their house, enjoying themselves, and you people are here killing yourself. There is a video in all this mess that also surfaced online showing when Mama P, that is Mama P, Goodluck Ebele, Jonathan's wife, actually made Wike when she took Wike to the former governor of Rivers State, Odile, to say to him, this is the man. You know, that is Godfatherism at its peak. Watch this as well.
But I thank God that you are here. And all of us here are all working together. As you can see, this is the River State. This is the PDP you are seeing as far as River State is concerned. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your moderate here. Let him know that all of us who are totally committed to him will not look back. And God will lead it to victory gone 2015. What we want to assure you that we won't disappoint you. We won't disappoint your husband. PDP today is stronger in River State. The last time we saw PDP united in this manner was when our former governor was there. For the past 8 years, PDP had never been this strong in River State. Now you will find, on every occasion, you find the strong PDP men all rallying around just because you are there. River State is a PDP state. Since 1999, PDP.
Okay, so that's the handover, right? When he was handed over. Now, there is this video from Channels. There are other videos, but there is a reason why I chose the one from Channels. Because many of you will watch and say, oh, how credible, anybody can record and anybody can post. Let's then see this video from Channels themselves. But because of legal issue, Channels would have to put that caveat allegedly. But if you remove that word allegedly or alleged, you hear and you see the true story of what police did in Rivers State today. Just watch.
So, some of them here say the police came, according to their narration, at the Ward 19 Collation Center. And according to their narration, that the police came and disrupted the process and scattered the whole place. But according to some of them too, they said the police came late, that they had finished the elections and they had already counted and before the police arrived to disrupt the process. This is Ward 19 in Fowler.
So you can see how peaceful that place was, right? You may say, oh, where is the police now? How can you say that the police were destroying something? I say, don't drink the other palm wine. Original one is coming. There is also an amateur video of the police doing what they were accused of by Channels TV. Right? Let's watch this video, captured, obviously hidden, so that they don't get these. You can see the two men in front are police officers, and the person videoing obviously from the back. You can see them taking materials away and doing around with it. At this point, one question that should detain your attention will be, or should be, if the police moved away from the election and didn't want to be part of that election, what interest does the police have to come and take away these ballot, boxes with content that is voters' stuff in it? Everything that happened in River State today, it's kind of wrong in so many plans. Is here in one part that the current governor of River State, Fubara, is being accused by others that he and his men allegedly manipulated the election itself. But those some would then argue that those that actually are accusing them of the manipulation are those that stayed away from the election. Some, as you have seen from the Labour Party guy, some did not stay away. I mean, he gave names and say this is what happened. But the bigger part is, why is the Nigerian police running, that has nothing to do with the election, suddenly, when the people have finished voting, now come to do what they did? That's a question that should detain our attention. On another side, again, you will also see the, basically Nigerians. Some of them didn't necessarily care whether election happened or not. You can see many of them actually playing football, saying, "No, concern us. Make we play football 5-a-side." You see them there playing football. Whether now one do election, no one do election. Now wahala be that one. Okay, now the whole thing is the whole thing is it's quite funny. The whole thing is quite funny. There is this guy called what was his name? Something Abuja or whatever. That's one of them people in the creeks. He was speaking to the Nigerian police in his own way, and he had this following information to pass across in his own way. You may like, you may dislike him.
Kill innocent people for River State. When they come arrest you, now then go kill innocent people. My name is General Sabuja Dirty Water. We don't hear all their news. All Wike plan and Inspector General Police plan. They will go house for house, they flame people up. They arrest them, they carry gun, they plant for people out. They say they exchange of fire. They say they go in their boss shoot gun. Say now what did IJ Wike want to do? To kill innocent people for River State. When they come arrest you, now then go kill innocent people, kill masses. They go say now exchange of fire. Now then go bring out gun, say Wike and Inspector General Police with police chief in River State. We don't hear and finish. The DC boss say now what they want to do from today. Anywhere they go, see they are the table now. United Nations and the human rights activists, a freedom fighter. Now their plan They won't kill innocent soul. Begin talk say na exchange of fire. Wetin concern exchange of which one be exchange of fire? And they talk and make the world hear am. Election no go hold. Election no go hold. A governor no get say again for his state. Governor no get mark for his state. Former governor rest. Other judge rule go rest. Peter Dele rule rest. Amechi rule rest. Wike no one rest. The masses on they see am. Now Wike na him get River State. Other judge no go. Peter Dele way everybody know. All the way name read for River State on I no see am. He no go rest. Wike no silent am. Good luck Jonathan. President Obasanjo may una wake up. Babangida make una put my IBD. Make una talk in the matter of River State. Enough is enough. Wike wants scatter River State. Wike won't turn to Godfather. He won't turn to a lion. A greedy man like Wike. Now they send police to go arrest innocent people. Now they won't do. They go kill all of us. So if anything happen to anybody, because I know say na IG with police chief in River State and Wike, now then they do am. Now that won't cause problem. My name is General Sabuja, Dirty Water. This opportunity they beg our executive governor, Excellency Fubara. Employ volunteer security wey wan work with you. Leave this wicked police people alone. Employ volunteer security. Leave this heartless police people. Some police people good, some bad. The problem, their police chief, they intimidate them, they send them to do dirty work. Fubara, employ the youth wey wan work with you. The volunteer, work with the masses, Niger Delta youth, Rivers youth. Please, Fubara, we wan work with you. We won't be the security. We don't volunteer. Work with us. Nothing. River State our own. We don't go run liver. They kill so many innocent people. We came with their group. Innocent they kill so many upland. So many don't die. They go use the kill them. They go use the kill them. They go use the kill them. General Sabuja say, you don't go use me, kill me. I don't be a remote. You don't go kill me. God forbid. For a greedy man, heartless man. Jesus.
Sabuja. All these all these people are quite funny. In the video, I mean, my ears are not sharper than yours. You can hear him clearly insinuating that he should be given the right to do the contract, put it this way, the contract to do that job. Now, on another plank also, the APC office in Rivers State, some said the factional APC office in Rivers State, they said was bombed in early hours of this morning. Well, I don't know. The question is, who are those behind it? The problem is not only PDP, it's man, River State. Before we thought if the mess, if it was going to start, it was going to start from Kano. But it appears River State may not escape it, actually. APC Secretariat, right? Okocha's APC, Tony Okocha's APC Secretariat. This is really sad, and let us not for 1 second, because we are not supporting a particular party, and we'll begin to condone madness. Lives could have been lost if people were in that office at that point. To think that explosive in this sense was used in that, it's must be condemned by any person of conscience. Again, we don't know who those behind the incident. I mean, what you have seen so far is counter blame and counter blame. Now, to the cocoa of while we're doing this, we're still waiting for the governor to. I think the governor was supposed to do make a speech this evening, so we're still waiting for him. Now, let's listen to this. This is now this. All of you know this man, Ba. All of you know him. Do you know what the man said today? That they are coming to. A helicopter has been hovering around his house. If they don't take care, he will shoot down the helicopter. It's recorded though. He posted it himself on his own page. He didn't hide it. Make I no talk with you, no talk. Before someone will say I'm a squatter. Before I play that, if you're new to this channel, please, kindly like this video. Please, let's do this now. Just 1 minute. Just you know the cost. Just click the like button now. Make we see how many of us liking it now. Just one like, share. There are so many places you can share in WhatsApp group. And this is live. And if you want to have your say, eventually you will still have the link for you to come, especially when you watch this, because I know that this video might upset so many of you, but I don't not want to also dwell on the part that might upset some of you, because at some point in this video he veered off and made controversial statements, or what some of you will say controversial comments. But that could be ignored anyway. The point that he's trying to make in this video is very simple. That if care is not taken, that the state will sink into anarchy, and that they are not shy from quote unquote doing the needful. We have over how many people? Over 900 people watching us only on YouTube, and we only have 91 persons, that is 10%, have an now. Make a nidan. Now, hi Chief Fabiano. Make a nidan. Come on, subscribe and like, please. Now, beg at the bego. Subscribe. Anyway, let's listen to Asari Dokubo. Why you're subscribing?
Our people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As we are talking,
with the video, I'm not doing the video. As I said in the video, that's the video.
Wike's soldiers, Wike's police, whoever, had been flying over my house and my compound in the last 30 minutes with 2 helicopter gunships. I have the capacity to contain them. Nigeria cannot surrender to Wike. Rivers people will not surrender to Wike. Ijaw people will not surrender to Wike. I have the capacity to contain them. And the government knows that I have the capacity to contain them.
At this point, some of you have actually mentioned to me when I said, how can a private citizen threaten a sovereign nation? Because Wike, yes, he may have, obviously, he may have money that I would say River State money, but I do not think that Wike has gunship and helicopters to be used to, or to fly around Asari Dokubo's house. One thing is very clear. It's a question of powers. Someone assigned that helicopter to go around that vicinity too. Solomon, thank you very much for anyone who joins us. We'll welcome you to this club. We'll go play. We'll play for you. We'll cheer you up. Right. So I do not believe that a helicopter belongs to Wike. Wike does not have the capacity to buy a helicopter and to use for such surveillance. But now, for someone to now say that if they try him, that helicopter will come down. Yes, he has a private, military contract. But does that also include shooting down stuff? The challenge that we have in Nigeria is that when people have access to power, especially the presidency, they tend to misuse it. He hasn't done anything yet, but even the utterances, I don't know. You tell me what you think, but let's listen to him first.
As I've been containing other people, let them tell Wike to back off. I am 60 years old. I've never been afraid of death. I've always embraced death. I'd always embraced death. So I am not afraid of death. So all those who are there, when the helicopter is shot down, let nobody blame them. I didn't go and look for the helicopter to shoot them down. I will shoot down the helicopter. I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over River State into slavery.
Okay, at this point, I'm just wondering. I thought Tinubu now your friend now. Tinubu, what do you have? I thought Tinubu was your friend. How can you now accuse him that he wants to hand over your state to someone? Okay. No, but you cannot be denying now. He's your friend, and he told us to hold him responsible in case something like this happening in Rivers.
I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
You say?
I say, if Tinubu fails, hold me responsible.
Thank you.
The job people are already angry that this is the worst government.
We have just started.
We must learn a lesson. This man!
You gotta trust man. Adam.
You go the trust man. Okay? I like that book of lamentation. Please, can you say that again? Please. Book of lamentation. Can you say that again? But before he comes on to say that again, please, if you haven't subscribed now, I won't make a kill cow for you before you go subscribe. Say as I beg you now. Subscribe. Make we subscribe. Anyway, I like that book of lamentation. Say that again.
Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down.
I listened to this. You know what I asked myself? Assuming it was that said this thing now, do you think after 2 hours of saying it, that the whole place, DSS will not be, even if I'm in the hole, or even if I'm in Zaza room, that DSS will not be looking for me there, right? But again, in case I didn't hear well, let me hear that again.
Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down.
Okay, Wike does not command helicopters, actually. By what he said, it means someone obtained the authority for the commander of the helicopter to command and give authorities for the helicopters to fly above his house, meaning that helicopter is owned by the state. When I mean the state, I mean the federation itself. And an individual is threatening to shoot down an helicopter. Doesn't that imply that there are some certain, how do they call it? There is this Niger Delta, it's not called weapon. It's something cutlass and some knockout that is there, that they are flying around, that has the capacity to actually bring down an helicopter.
Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over Rivers State into slavery.
Oga, calm down now. Tinubu hasn't handed over your state into slavery. Or did you guys hand him over your state? Remember where this is coming from. River State, some of you connived, allowed. I mean, I don't even understand why you're crying. You were part of the team that handed over your state to the man in question, February, March 2023. So why do you have to cry? I don't get it. There is no need to cry. That which you ordered from the market has been delivered.
The Wike is nobody.
Anyway, I don't know if you, both of you, are now arguing who is somebody.
Without this one, it's nobody. Wike is nobody. Let them remove this thing from him now. I think he has billions. He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him.
You see now, revelation is coming out. He is now telling Nigerians openly, this is no longer secret, this is no longer hidden, that Wike has billions and that Wike has bought guns for his men before. Meaning that both of them go to the same market to buy the same walking sticks. A nation where terrorists will go in Zambiza forest, make videos, threaten a federation. What do? Do we invite them for a handshake and basically speak with them? For certain individuals, just to even look, you're a criminal and your house must be invaded. Would they yell? Would they look? It's quite interesting. Honestly, interesting revelations. That they go to the same market to buy the same walking sticks and granates that they use in doing what? Which military company does Wike have that he now goes in or contract or whatever to buy these things that they use? How?
He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him. And let us see. Go and vote. I will go and vote. I will vote and you see me vote. Nothing will happen. We vote. Result will be announced. Chairman will be sworn in. And we will see.
At this point, he begins to read comments. Someone may have annoyed him. And see, that's why, this thing is one area that really is a little bit sticky. He's just taking time to read comments. And someone who may have certain names makes a comment. He takes his anger on an entire ethnic nationality. It's just like here, I'm live, I read some of the comments, and somebody makes a comment, rather than me to address the comment, I will generalize because I identify that name to be from a particular ethnic nationality. That to me, my brother, is very immature and senseless.
Chairman will be sworn in and we will see.
You don't dispute.
I don't want to talk too much. We'll not talk too much. There's a military formation in this community. We did not look for their trouble.
You read it. You read it.
Your father mad is a mungu.
It's like somebody called him a mugu. Now his tantrum starts.
You cowardly Igbos. Do you think I'm like you people?
River State is having an election. Asari Dokubo react suddenly. You don't drag the whole Igbo, join the election and his ranting. Okay, now he will give you the ability to threaten to shoot down whatever. Stay on course. Do not be distracted, please. Stay.
You will see the capacity working. They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands. And then you see our capacity. With the soldiers, we go and catch him with our hands.
Did you hear that part? That he is going to catch Wike with his hands. This is interesting. That Wike will do so they will go and catch him. You know what it means? To go and catch him with his hands. If you missed that, you know what it means? A minister of the Federal Republic. Anyway, it's good. I mean, why should you actually bother yourself? There are two people who are, two people who are who are friends to one man. So there is a place they will settle it.
You will see the capacity working. They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands.
Okay, Wike, you have been warned. Nelson, thank you very much for joining us. Wike, you've been warned. If care is not taken, they've told you that they have the capacity to come and catch you with their bare hands. Just the way they can route you out and catch you. Whatever happens afterwards, you're now warned. You better stay away. Stay away. But I know as it is now, the governor will be the one singing the hymn that Wike wants.
Ancient of days, as old as you are, as old as you are, yes, sir, you will never change. Oh, no. Ancient of days, as old as you
are. Ancient of days, as old as you are. Some people will say this is what you call real.
Today, I want to declare without equivocation.
Wike cannot equivocate today. If the results that were garnered today, in the next hours, if they were to be declared, then that would be without equivocation. You know, I had tried to see if these results are in IREV so that we can, as usual, begin to call results. Says that's the part that I like so much. If eventually you find out that the result that were uploaded, I don't know, I don't think they use beavers like in Anambra. They say beavers beavers doesn't work. They just attend it and they did it manual. You know, Nigeria is a very funny place where certain things happen and you think, gosh, people, what is it that we are witnessing? Sometimes it sounds funny, sometimes it is actually funny that things are just happening and not only in rivers, honestly, not only in rivers that this happened. In my own state of Anambra, election election was conducted and they did not bother to use the beavers. They said beavers is not reliable and yada yada yada, and the rest is now history. Eventually people were announced as winners of that election, and here we are. Nobody nobody has really gone to court. Nobody has, nobody has done anything. The winners, everybody goes about their businesses as if nothing happened. But that's who we are. That's who we are. Very, very, very funny people. Anyway, in the early hours of this morning, as the police did not arrive to escort the materials, as said by one of the labor guys, this video appears to be confirming the allegations that he made, right? In this video, you will see how they escorted the electoral materials to the place of voting. You can imagine as early as the morning hours that they were really escorting this, right? As it is, so many people are really expecting the governor to come out now to speak to the people. And some are now already saying that the emperor, the governor, that song, that the governor is has won because he instructed his people to move to APP, and these people moved to APP and they began to win. At this point, I would want to take some of your own comments before we continue. In the comment section, you would see the link to click. If you click that link, especially, I know many of you, based on the video you have seen of Asari Dokubo and the content of what he has said, some of you will now want to say, I want to have my own say. I mean, free here. Only condition is we have to be factual and we have to be very respectful. Please, I beg you, if you're going to join us from the link already shared in the comment section, but be factual and be respectful. It does not hurt to be respectful to one another, right? Mazi Imo was the, while I take some of your comment, he said Imo was the worst. I mean, I think Nigeria is actually getting to a point where we are, how do I put it? We are actually gunning and we are, kind of competing to see, oh, yours was worse. The other one will say, no, yours, mine was actually worse than yours. That's mine was actually worse than yours. Do not panic. Some of you are saying, oh, are you sure we will survive this country? I tell you, one thing Nigeria has shown over the years is whenever you read and you hear all these things that they say, do not take them too serious, because if you do, you're just doing your head, because I can guarantee you nothing will come out of it. The election has come. Those that normally say go to court will be the ones to go to court. Is anything going to happen? Nah, nothing will come out of it. Now is a clear statement of by every means necessary, do whatever that it takes for you to win the election, for that election to be announced. As long as that election is announced, the other person can go to court. And as long as the other person, goes to court, you can be rest assured that it's that's it. Will anything happen? I doubt if anything tangible will happen. So you see the comment section, you can see the. Let's also pin the message in the pin section, right? So that in case if the comments are so fast, you can just click on that one and join. So I'm trying to pin it now. Just to pin it, maybe that's going to be much easier for you in case if you wish to join. Do you also think that it was right for an individual to threaten? Well, I mean, I understand the argument. I mean, I'm reading some of the comments. I understand the argument that he has that he has some security contract. But having a security contract, does that, or is it that he doesn't know how to talk? Or does having a security contract also gives you the power to make certain comments that you could actually shoot down an helicopter that came around your house? But maybe also it is also a question to ask: why would anyone actually go around his house? Are there things they know that we don't know? Why would anyone actually start flying around his house? Is it within his rights, since they've flown around his house? Is he within his rights? Breaking news. This is getting ridiculous. Someone join me, but hold on, before I bring this is getting ridiculous. I mean, it's funny. Breaking news now. The governor of Rivers State has won. This is crazy. I haven't seen anything like this. Now, look at these people. The governor of Rivers State has won 22 out of 23 chairmanship position. Can you beat this? Can you beat this? So someone joined, but it appears you joined twice. Please make sure you haven't used two browsers to join. I would bring you in quickly, but let's look at the breaking news that we have here from Channels TV. Alex, you're welcome. Comrade, you're welcome. I'll be bringing both of you in just to let you know that I am aware you are in the back room. Now, Rivers local government poll, APP, that is the RNG party for the PDP, just won. According to Channels says the chief election officer of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, Justice Adolphus Enebeli, declared that the results on Saturday in Port Harcourt. He said that the announcement is suspended in Eche local government area because the coalition of results is still ongoing. According to him, the results for Eche local government will be declared alongside the 319 councillorship seats later today. More details would follow. So, would you say that this is a final nail in the coffin for Nyesom Wike? I mean, I don't know. But let me get some gentlemen in the house here. I have Alex here joining us. Alex, where are you? Please, Uche and Comrade, if you don't mind, put your cameras on, please. We need to see your faces. So, Alex, where are you joining us from?
Oh, hello, my brother. I'm joining you from the UK.
Okay, you're joining me from the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Now the rule now because I say pounds now. You don't bend pass iron. So I mean, what's your take on? Let me guys turn on your camera. I have comrade here and I have Uche. Uche, please, guys, turn on your camera. But Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm not current in regard to what's happening. I was just going to talk about the threats I had. I don't want to mention his name. Everybody see him when he was making that threat.
Yeah.
The fact is that we must be very careful of thinking Nigeria we are seeing today because we talk about corruption for one another, that we do not have human rights. If you are making threat like that, assuming Wike is not holding any power, you can't do that on social media or in public. If anything happened to that individual, you will be responsible for it. And apart from that, we need to look at our individual community. He is the kind of person that lead massive violence and group that are very agitated in the community. When a leader is talking like that, that means we are facing some challenges of decision making. When we talk about qualitative decision, we have riots, we have youth. The challenges I saw the bag of rice yesterday is running about 80 to 100 or something thousand naira, one bag of rice. So you can see that these guys are not actually making their comment or engaging in election based on the masses' choice of government we are looking for. It's just their selfish interest. That is why he was very emotional. You can look at him very well psychologically. This guy has no interest in any human being. He has his own personal need. So if someone make a comment like you're on live now, I heard your comment, when you are on live, you saw someone insulting you or talking about one kind of group that you are from or you belong to, then you start aggressively talking to me on live while your face, everything is on. It won't make any sense. That means you do not have value for your community, you don't have value for your children, you don't have value for your own business. Maybe if you run a business, you don't have value for your staff. You know, there are laws that are going on in Nigeria. Election going on in Port Harcourt right now, in River State. It is very clear that we have majority of corrupt community. Like, let's talk about the community in the first place. So we have massive youth coming out to say they want to vote, they want to bring in their leader. But where we are losing that is that when ballot box is being declared that it can't find this, the machine doesn't work. You are using camera to follow instead of security following the ballot box or taking security team to the polling team. Then a camera is now videoing to give evidence that this thing is secure. You know, anything can happen. You know, we need a leader that is transparent. We need the roots to bring in leaders that are transparent. And we are all responsible to do that. It's not Yes in Wike or someone who come online to threaten Yes in Wike.
Thank you. I mean, you have a fair point there. Anyone, I think in that video, he should have shown more self-restraint, in some of these utterances. But again, because, he may have some groups and he may have the coercive power because of some of the, weapons that so acquired, however they do, I don't know. But the other person also has some, group and people that follow him. And such comments could actually lead into more crisis for the state. Thank you very much for that. Tony, okay. Tony, you're welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to be in the platform.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been listening. I just joined, but I think I got part of the thrust of the discussion.
Okay.
I think the problem in River State is not just one that is new. It's been a recurring decimal for quite a while. If you look back at the time of Chibike and Mechi, we had the same problem. We had this Uh, Something that is almost looking like a struggle between the Godfather and the Godson.
Why do you think this problem appears to be, persistent with River State? But we saw somewhat less of it during the time of Ada George and maybe Peter Odile, but became so prominent after Rotimi, Chibike, Amechi. Then Wike became the height of it. As someone in one of the videos we played made an allusion that there were ex-governors before. They talked about Ada George, Odile, Rotimi Amechi. Why is only one man the reoccurring decimal of all the bad things in River State? So what do you think is behind it?
I think the society is partly to blame for what we're seeing. It's not just River State just happens to be one of it. We have seen a smattering of it in Lagos State. We've seen it in Edo State. I think our political system has been structured in a way that the Godfather will always want to have his way. And the first thing he does is to ensure that he has a monopoly of the resources of the state. And because that's what is at stake here. The one who controls River State would have the resources, and River State has enormous resources. If you think of what comes from the federal and internally generated revenue, and also by the strategic um, uh, uh, location or whatever, that River State plays in the entire federation. So in terms of votes, in terms of its resources, and so on and so forth. So I think, honestly, if you look at it, Wike is trying to protect his structures. I mean, if you look at it from that perspective, the structure that he has built, the sources of whatever he generates from there. But
When you talk
unfortunately, you
about
can't do it.
structure, are you inferring or in any way, shape, or form referring to what P2B calls the structure of criminality? I mean, I'm not calling anything, but is that something it's similar? Is that what you're trying to say, structure?
Well, it depends on who is looking at it and from what point of view.
No, I mean, you are the one looking at it because you are the one that made inference. I'm only just.
Yeah, well, if I am if I am Wike's man,
Okay,
I would say
hypothetically, let's say you are.
I would say Wike is doing the right thing. I mean, that's Nigeria politics. He put the guy there. They've all playing and willing and dining and so on. But you see, for me, you see, these are the consequences of rigging. When your hands are not clean, none of them, all of them, whether Wike, whether the present governor, their hands are not clean because we know what happened in River State, and there are consequences for everything. If you garbage in, what you get is garbage out. So I think that they are paying for the sins that they have committed. Unfortunately, the people who are bearing the brunt are River State people. So to be fair, fair is fair. I mean, now I'm speaking without bias. The governor should be left alone to control his state. He should be left alone. But
I mean,
so what?
I can see Alex shaking his head, saying he disagrees. But for fairness, let's the way Uche's network is yanking him off and on. I hope he will not disappear now. Uche, are you there? Can you hear us? Your network appears to be joining from River State. Are you sure you're not joining us from River State? Uche, can you hear us? Quite unfortunate, Uche. Maybe try and either change location. You can rejoin again, but we can't hear you. Obviously, if you can hear us, we cannot hear you. Your network appears slightly unstable. Let me come back again, Alex. You did not agree to what Tony said. So why did you shake your head? That
I, I wasn't disagreeing with what he said, but one point he made that we should leave the governor or someone, sometimes we must be very careful when we think someone who is in power, a governor, president, minister, that they can supersede everything. No, it's not like that. You mentioned Edo. Do you know what happened in Edo? Remember two scenarios in Edo, which is very clear to the whole Nigerians today. The first scenario when we said Edo is not Lagos. You remember that?
But eventually, Edo became Lagos.
No. Let's look at the old language. Edo is not Lagos. When that word was made, a lot of people were saying no because we have Oshomole power and other Tinubu power, that kind of thing. That they don't know what they're saying. But really, he came in. But he forgot that because we said this doesn't mean he is going to hold power and continue his own personal identity, personal power in terms of behavior, character, disvaluing their Edo culture and tradition. Now, this is a fair playground, as Oshomole said. Oshomole knew quite very well that the same people who put you there will remove you. You understand what I mean? So now, he was in power, he was with the police, he even created local security that we actually wanted to be traditional security-based approach to Edo, which he did not. He separated the traditional part of the security he created. But 2 weeks to election, those communities were dissolved. Then the next thing, he threatened police community. Then they took off all a police officer. So now, where is his muscles to win the election? Nothing was there anymore.
Okay, your point. Can you circle it back with River State? So Edo is won and lost. So let's leave them.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Rivers, it doesn't mean if you are in power. If the community do not want you, they don't care what political party they want to give it to. That is just my point. That's why I shake my head out. It doesn't matter if you are holding the power or if the community doesn't want you. So right now, I don't have anything against Wike. Wike has played many roles in Nigeria. Wike can change his political party activity tomorrow. They will still follow him because he has a game that he's playing. I think the people used to call my dad Maradona. Wike
Now,
is Maradona.
Do you think the people that follow Wike, they follow him out of philosophy, out of what they believe he can offer, or they follow him because, as an Igbo adage says, the reason why you follow a big man is that if he doesn't vomit, he shits. Is that,
somehow? Let me use business approach. I used to have this guy that will ask you to help him to sell one piece of his item, right? When you sell it, maybe 5 naira, right? Then he will give you 2 naira 50 kobo. Then he will take 2 naira 50 kobo. That's 50-50. Can you imagine? So now, Wike is that kind of human being. He's not that kind of person that will ask you to support him and make you hungry. He thinks that we are all equal in whatever we are doing.
So that's, in my view, that is the Lagos philosophy. Isn't that part of the reason why the nation is in a mess?
I think Wike is very professional in political activity. I'm not saying outside politics. Politics.
I like the use of words. Professional
When
in
you say
political
politics, there's nothing like
political activities are by the mere definition of politics or the Nigerian political definition of politics.
In Nigeria definition of politics, let me go straight like that. Yeah, I think in Nigeria politics, in Nigerian definition of politics. So politics is like a game that everyone plays it. We have high level of insecurity. If you ask me in one language, who is the perfect person ruling Nigeria today? None of them. None of them is perfect. So we are still.
But governance is not about being perfect. Governance is about delivery. So if we want sense, we should all probably die, go to heaven, get sense, come back again, and restart governance.
That would be better. We restructure everything. But it doesn't matter. We used to have CPN, NNPZ, UPN, MPN. They destroy all those things. But the same group, they still fit themselves into PDP.
Okay.
It was last minute, they are now in APC and PDP. But few of them in Edo went to Labour because Obaseki shared them. He shared them between Labour, APC, and PDP. But the wrong person took APC, who he doesn't want. So he wanted Labour. It still didn't work. The wrong person took Labour. The lady that was meant to took Labour, which is Obaseki, she could not win. So Obaseki now remained only PDP. He thought anybody who win in all the political party, he will still get along. So if you dissolve the whole political party in Nigeria today, these guys will still shuffle themselves into that part.
I would want to come to Tony quickly. I want to walk away from Edo, but let me ask you this. You said Edo is not legal. When that coinage came, was when the concept of godfatherism under Adams Oshomole wanted to, kind of be seen during the time of second term of Obaseki, right? Edo is not Lagos. How ironic that eventually the concept of godfatherism that you people went to the street to say that Edo is not Lagos eventually happened by same Oshomole bringing a godson in the person of Monday Okpabolo, right? To still become the governor that in the eve of him winning the election, Oshomole spoke more than the governor, singing, was more joyous than the governor who won the election. Isn't that a case of godson, godfather, and a clear indication of Lagos happening before you in Edo?
If you look at, I'll talk a little bit about
Tony, no, I want Alex to answer this one because the man.
Okay, sorry.
Alex,
I'm sorry.
What happened is that during Edo is not Lagos, the strategy we were having in bringing in Obaseki was a fairground that all the Edo were in one pocket.
But it was repeated again before the election. Lagos can't happen in Edo.
No, it didn't repeat. It was the language that was misunderstood. It didn't repeat. What happened is that Obaseki was playing a dark ground that nobody was able to visualize who Obaseki is. So Edo was like, we are fed up with this individual. But right now, as I'm talking to you, Edo community has now made agreement to come together. They are not even interested in the Pueblo, they are not interested in whoever is ruling. They have created a structure whereby, okay, if this person is not doing very well, what are we going to do? That's okay. The next, let's come together before this one starts.
When did they come together?
I think between the last 3 weeks. Between the last 3 weeks.
Are you on TikTok? I don't want to make this about it, but let me ask you this question. Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok, but I'm not political on TikTok.
No. Because why I asked you this, I had a conversation with a prominent person from Edo who contested presidential election in the last election, or rather, he wanted to contest under APC. And I shared some TikTok link with him of something that since after the election, that I never knew existed in Edo. The division that this last election has brought in Edo. For the first time, you go to TikTok, you hear something like Ishan land is a goal. Ishan land must come. Honestly, I'm not from Edo. I don't know, but
that is why we quickly created.
But even up to 1 hour ago, before I came online.
No, it started before the election. This thing has been it has been a mess. That Obaseki showed blind eye against it. He influenced part of it. Obaseki influenced part of it. We had about 6 of them that involved in this activity. They were Edo. They now channeled themselves into communities. Some of them will pretend to be Igbo. Some of them will pretend to be Ishan. Some of them will pretend to be Edo, right? But we have 6 Edo individuals who use the influence to filter. You know, media. When someone do something, you will know. You think this is the person. You know, some of them have different name on their profile. But we have 6 individuals in Edo State that were involved in creating that picture, Edo Ishan issue. So we say Edo Igbo. No. Obaseki was actually
So what you're
influenced.
saying is that that is sponsored the way, because one thing that
It's influence.
one thing that
It's
I can
influence,
tell
yeah.
anybody listening to me now, free of charge, is that the current government at the federal level, as part of the strategy to win 2027 election, is to use ethnic divide. And part of that ethnic divide is to see the amplification of Edo versus Edo, Edo versus Igbo,
They'll be able to come in.
Edo versus Yoruba, Igbo versus Yoruba. And I'm like, just all of a sudden.
That's what they were doing. You are 100% right.
And when I listen to some of the conversations where somebody says Igbo, they do saga with Oba.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is this coming from?
They do that a lot.
It's because of end bad governance. When Oba made a statement saying, okay, I would advise the youth to give the government a chance. Of course, so many Nigerian youth said, Oba, beg, pack one side. This is our protest. No advise us. And suddenly the thing turned into, just gentle comments on, turned into you hate our Oba, you do this. And so I think there is a strategy behind all this.
We're going to stop it. We're going to stop it.
I hope you guys do a good job. But let's come back. Let's come back to the one where they burn our nyash now.
Yeah.
And now this one. Tony, please, before I let Tony say something, please, anybody joining us, please, if you join us, make sure you turn on your camera. I beg you. Make sure you stay. You see, as 3 of us there now, they look of our face show, our shoes shine. They see our faces, right? So make you know, even if you no get light, go take lantern or candle, put them. Make your face show small, right? So if you're joining us, link to join us is pinned in the on YouTube. On Facebook is shared on the link, or on the comment section, right? So if you haven't subscribed to this platform, by all means, subscribe, like, share with others. Now, I want to come back to you, Tony. I haven't listened to what our brother who tried to pay free transport to transport us to Edo from Rivers State, not knowing that that's a very good distance to travel. So, what's your take?
Hello?
Yeah, Tony.
Yeah, back to Rivers.
Network too.
Back to Rivers. That is main subject of discussion.
Yes.
Like I said, I think the issue here, the clash between clash of personalities between the governor and the former governor, father and son, if you like to call it that. For me, it just it's the underpinning factor here for me that is gaining currency is resources of River State. No matter how you look at it, who controls the resources of River State? Now, it is critical to the former governor, because if you have been reading the governor very well, the former governor very well, you see that it appears that he's looking at the presidency and he needs to gather all the resources and the support that he would need to push this much further, to strengthen himself. The first experience under PDP didn't succeed. Now he has positioned himself one leg here, one leg there, playing a game of chess, so that wherever it goes. But his base is River State. So if he loses that base, in Abuja, there's somebody above him looking at him and watching him closely, who is also using him because he sees that he will be critical to his, to his plan for 2027. So if Wike loses River State, then it's of no use to anybody or those who want to use them. So River State is critical to him, not just for the strategic importance of River State in the entire geographical and geopolitical equation of Nigeria. It's also important for him because that's his base.
Now, there have been those before him. Why was River State not important to Odili? Odili could have done the same thing. Why was River State not important to Chibuike Amechi, Ada George, and Co? Is it that he wants to run for president against Tinubu in 2027? Don't you think so? That is that may be what is propelling him to aggressively want to remain on top of his game ahead of 2027.
You see, one common factor that is one thing that is common with all these three people you've mentioned, Dr. Peter Odili, Rotimi Amechi, and the former governor Wike, is that the three of them at one time or the other ran for the presidency. Odili was almost clinching it.
And two of them are still going to run. Amechi and Amechi Wike will still run in 2027.
Odili was almost there, but for Obasanjo's yes. And then, of course, Wike in PDP came second. Amechi came, I think, second too in his party. So the stakes are very, very high. And two, you see, River State appears to be more like Delta in terms of the fact that you have to be very careful the way you play the politics, otherwise you set the place ablaze. There are so many loyalties, groups that are loyal to this person or that person.
Because you're able to bring out cash.
Huh?
Because you're able to bring out cash, that's all.
Yes. And then there are very critical infrastructure that are in danger if we don't play that politics right, and that will impact negatively on the resources of the country at large. So the president himself is this proverb that there's a fly that has pecked dangerously on a man's scrotum. You have to be very careful when you want to kill it, otherwise you have to apply some strategy. Either you drive it away and let it go, or in an attempt to kill it, then whatever you see, you take. So I think it's not good for the president. It's not good for Wike.
For losing, what do you mean it's not good? It's not good that they lost River or what?
No, for the three of them, the politics they are playing now, the politics in there now, is one that.
But hold on, let's play this scenario.
Yes.
What is it that Wike can actually give Tinubu that Fubara cannot give Tinubu? He's in the saddle.
Yes.
He can actually mobilize the state because River State has been so unfortunate that the last two governors and the current governor, or rather the River State since the time of Odili, appears to have wasted River's money on chasing shadows. Amechi did that when during their MPDP. Wike did that with PDP. Odili did that, using River State money. I don't know. Many of you, if you've read the accidental public servant by Erufai, clearly detailed in there how monies were wasted pursuing one ambition. And exactly three of them, sequentially did the same thing, just wasting River State money. So is River State in trouble because of the resources implanted in there, or that they have had the misfortune of having certain set of people govern them? Which do you think is the case here?
I think it's resource control, because you have to control the resources, and the person who has the financial wherewithal, then he dictates the tune. I mean, I look at River State. It's been bloody. If you look at the history, you look at some of their cheap, big political big whips, how they were wasted. I mean, Dikibo, what's the other guy? Harry Marshall. Um, and they've had some very, very bloody uprising over there. Over what? Power. Now, and if you have the resources, then you can mobilize support. Most of them militants, and they go in there and they do what they want to do. I think that the problem is that the governor is the man on the ground, and he controls the resources. And so, if you control the resources, you can quote and unquote do and undo, as it were. Now, if Wike is cut off from that resource, whatever it is, that's assuming that he by going to Abuja and by not being the governor, he has lost a lot of the financial resource that he needed to have. Then he haven't put the guy who is in there, and part of the intention, not because he likes the guy or because for whatever reason, it's because he wants to be the boss. Oshomole did away with Anani. He didn't want Anani. I mean, that was the big man then who was dictating the pace in those states at the time. He didn't want a godfather. He didn't want anybody to dictate to him. He wanted to have control. And so absolute control as a governor, which is what he should be. He did away with Anani, and then he had control. And then when he brought in Obaseki, he still wanted to. He didn't want. He wanted to do the same thing that Anani was doing in Edo State. And so the game has always been resource control. If you control the resources, then you can dictate the tone. We saw what happened with Fashola when he was governor. We saw what happened with Fashola's successor. We saw the politics then, and the casualty and so on. So everything that is happening goes down to resource control. When you control it, then you can play the game. And I think that's what's happening. And the man there, the governor, is saying, listen, I'm the governor. Give me a leeway to rule. After all, I'm accountable to the people, not you. So if Wike, I mean, it's something that can easily be settled. If two of them can lock themselves inside the room and talk and draw a line, this one recognize that, yes, you've been the ex-governor.
Is it actually entirely about power? Because there's been some allusion, for instance, that when the governor said, I can't give you my kidney, meaning that whatever is being demanded could be ascribed to me giving you my kidney. You understand? Something vital is a vital organ in the body, and what you're demanding is so vital to the state that I cannot yield in good conscience, yield this to you. So it's beyond probably just,
For me, I think it's about power right now. If you look at Wike, for example, Wike is 50-50, having a Shomole. For Wike to have good relationship with the Shomole, it's 50-50 between Wike and Tinubu. For him to, but if Wike doesn't have good relationship with some few people in that community, when we talk about the South and all that, then Wike might have issue when we talk about 2027. So the best thing for him to remain in PDP, to remain this, when we talk about political Maradona, yes, he should be a good player. But in terms of, let's talk about the Nigerian, common Nigerian.
Sorry, what did you say? That Wike is a political Maradona? Did I hear you well?
Political Maradona, of course, he is.
So, is his political Maradonaing of the River State election as a result of PDP inability to take certain decisions, or that he's actually playing them?
It might be, but Wike have his own, let me say, selfish interest as well. He's been there for a long time. He mentioned all the lead. Don't be surprised. He's not going to tell you the role Wike was playing when he was in power, right? So he's holding it now. Everything I make clear. You don't know what he was doing then. But Oshomole revealed who was in his own back door and how he make his own mistake. But Wike can never be a mistake to any leader. The fact is that he's 50-50 ground in regard to whether support PDP, support APC. He's like an anonymous person. The only thing you know about Wike is that he's holding PDP card. That's the only thing you know about him. The rest decision is anonymous. So his own interest is very large. We are looking at 2027, which is the great figure, the great picture everybody is looking at. But my own thing is that we common Nigerians, as a good citizen, we need to create our own citizenship platform. Because these guys now, they are not really interested in Nigerian security. If we look at the currency of Nigerians, they are talking about bag of rice now, right? These guys are not interested. I'm just saying it because I understand politics is about game playing. It's a trick. There's nothing perfect in it. But security, immigration, banking system, we are zero right now. We are zero right now. So the citizen has a role to play. If they are going to keep clapping for Wike, clapping for Tinubu, or clapping for APC or PDP, it is their choice in 2027. Because they lied to us that INEC is there. But you can see what's happening in Rivers State now. INEC is not to be trusted when you look at the game.
You talked about creating citizenship platforms. Is it the creation of, or rather, the non-creation of citizens platform you genuinely think is the issue, or what Rotimi Amechi said here is the issue?
If you see a thief and you allow him to be stealing, what do? You have stolen nobody. That's why we are stealing. You will stone me. Who have you stolen? Few individuals are going away with the money. You have done nothing. You have had $50 billion, not 50 million naira. Not 50. You can say I'm stealing the basket, no problem. You can say as much as you want. It's good to steal if you can't fight back. You know, the problem is you have heard about $50 billion. Nobody is talking. You are debating whether can he talk to the president like that. How did you know he talked about it? Why should the governor even write about it in the first place? In some countries, people will be on the street until they return that money.
Do you think it's because, quote unquote, I mean, not, literally, that we are not, whipping their behind? That's the reason why the mess continues.
Now, that is because our citizenship is weak. That's when you see all this kind of game playing. Politics is a different picture. To talk of people making their voice heard, to talk of people. I know when we look at, what is this guy's name, Showore? Showore was kind of good from the beginning. When we talk about NSAS as well, but because we do not have leadership in our community, we don't have good education, we know the problem. If you ask Nigerians to come online to talk about Nigerian problem, it takes 5 years, they never finish. But when you say 3 or 4, so let's come together, this strategy, let's stop this, then you're going to see me disappear. They don't disappear. You will be alone. So we need a platform where me and you will say, okay, let's make decision now.
I think there are, I think, sorry, but I think it might be so simplistic to just say we need a There are so many platforms, but those platforms wouldn't really put the hard work. But anyway, before we continue, let's listen to the report by AIT on the election that just held today. Sorry, I think there is no audio. Go ahead. We'll bring that back again. Let's finish. Go
I
ahead.
think when we talk about platform, it's not when we are online or having that social media activity going on. When we're talking about, let's say, for example, I like using Edo, for example, because I play a key very role in my community, what I'm saying, very qualitative. For example, we have a group called Bail is Free. Yeah, Bail is Free campaign in Edo State. So now this Bail is Free is everywhere in Nigeria. But I'll be proud to tell you that Bail is Free campaign in Edo State, they work hand in hand with police to make sure anyone that's supposed to be bail free will not pay that money. And if they've paid and you contact Bail is Free, you get the money back. Did you see? So now, how does that came about? It's about a group of people coming together to work with the police, right? To say this is our own role. We are citizens. This is what we want. If you have majority of every community, it starts in maybe River, Lagos, Abuja, then you find out that that issue will be solved in every community, not just Edo. I don't know if I make point. But because we are not having qualitative group like that, we just create group where you have me coming in and introduce myself. I'm Dr. This, I'm Excellency, I'm head of pastor so and so church. Then you don't have chance for the individual, those in grassroots, to talk, to make points, to create strategy that will be people-centered.
Do we need the voice of the grassroots, or do they need only 3,000 and 5,000 and their voices?
I think without the grassroots, there's nothing like people-centered in strategy building.
But that some would argue that that's actually,
but public, when you look at public health strategy with good intervention to create better care. It's not
the one way they talk so now, the one way they do for UK, he reach ground now. You know, go work. Anyway, I think we can listen to this now. That's one way they do. Now, strategy where they teach you now for training. You know, they work here.
This is what for.
Let's try this again.
City Local Government Council. And this polling unit comprises of units 48, 49, 50, 51, and 31, 32, 33. As you can see, there are no security presence here. Voting has commenced. The electorate said that they decided to come out this morning to exercise their franchise because they want to decide their fate at the third tier of government. For them, they are going to be their own security. They are going to protect themselves. They are going to protect the materials here and ensure that their votes count at the end of the day. I have an electorate with me here, and he will be telling us how comfortable he has been since he arrived at the polling unit without security operatives around this polling unit.
And the election is taking place, and we don't have any problem here. The election is...
You all can see the election is peaceful. Whether you like it or not, the governor has already said it, that we don't need to, if security men are not coming, we don't even need them. So you can see nobody's even fighting, nobody's quarreling, everybody has come out, we've all come out in mass to cast our votes. The place is peaceful, the place is calm. Without security, we are all casting our votes.
It is so obvious because even with the police in formal elections, you see crises everywhere. You see people snatching box even before the policemen, but you can see everywhere is peaceful. The people are happy. We came out with our hearts. I've exercised my right, and I'm happy. There's no need for violence. There's no need for violence. So somehow it looks as if the police instigates this violence. You can see there's no gunshot anywhere. There's no firearms. No, everybody is just coming out, doing what they are supposed to do. We are very happy that the election is here today.
This federal government and even the states have a rethink about the election. What do I mean? When things are done well, the people jubilate. You can see behind me, everybody's out for the election today, and nobody wants to fight. Nobody want to disrupt. We are ready. We're just waiting for the material to come to our unit, which we heard that the material is even near. We will vote. Nobody can disturb us. The people want to exercise their franchise. The only thing you can do is not to bring us material today. If the material is here, we will vote, and we heard the material is almost near. We will vote. 35 states of the Federation has conducted local government election as empowered and as directed by the federal government that everybody must conduct election, local government, on or before 31st of October.
However, the reverse is the case in Ward 8, as the electorate said voting was yet to start at about 10:28 a.m. because of the absence of sensitive materials.
We saw non-sensitive material. You go inside the hall and see it. Ballot boxes are there. Ballot papers, stamp pad, marker, and ink, and ballot box. That's the only thing they came with. No unit result sheet, no Form EC8A to compute the result sheet. And this is the collation center of Ward 8. And we say, when we see a little result sheet for the unit, we can start election.
Most of the people here came out here to vote, but there was no election because there was no result sheet.
So now, listening to this, let's go back to the beginning of this. The man, or about three of the individuals so interviewed, made allusion to how peaceful their voting areas were, and they said that the Nigerian police appears not to have helped matters, that the election is peaceful because there was no presence of the police. Let me start with our new guest, Onero. Onero?
Yes.
What's your take? Is the police actually helping to have a safe election, or are they part of the problem in conducting election in the in the states, as using River State as a case study, as contained in that report?
Okay. My name is Onero, as you can see there. I'm speaking from the US. And a little background. I schooled in Edo State. I worked in Edo State. I know Edo State politics. I was not kind of involved. I was involved. And then I'm originally from Delta State, who was born in the north. So I have a vast and diverse opinion on political issues in Nigeria. Especially from this new dispensation from 1999 till date. Back to the subject that you asked me about. The police, as a matter of fact, as it's presently being constituted, the police is a disgrace. They are, from Obasanjo's time, from the PDP era to the present APC era, the police have constituted themselves as part of an arm of any government in power. And that hasn't helped Nigeria in any case. It has not helped Nigeria in any case. They always try to want to please whoever that is in office. They do their bidding. That is not their constitutional obligation. Their constitutional obligation is to protect the people, to provide security for the people, to protect life and property, to ensure that there is peace, to ensure that people obey the law, to ensure that there is order in the society. But the police, as presently constituted, have become disordered. lawless. The level of impunity is unimaginable, as a matter of fact. In the case of River State, I wrote down here, I've witnessed all the elections from 1999 to 2003 to 2007 to 2011 to 2015. After 2015 election, I took a decision personally that even though, to me, Buhari won that election, even though as at that time I supported Jonathan, I didn't think Buhari has anything to offer Nigeria. I'm just speaking on a broader perspective now. I took a decision after the election that with all these shenanigans that I'm witnessing in this country, I'm deciding to leave the country. That's when I took the decision to leave Nigeria. I love Nigeria. I love my people. I love the country. But, my brother, the situation was worse then in 2015. It's not even worse now. It's rotten. I wrote here, police and desperate politicians are the crisis instigators during elections. They connive, they align, they collaborate with desperate politicians instead of to provide security. Sometimes they are the ones that instigate the crisis in either various polling units. Most times they are there, the police and the military. Most times they are there, they look at it, they see it, they do zero, they do nothing, they do zilch. They watch it happen in their crow eye. You cannot do that in a sane society. There's no way. There are shenanigans that take place in elections across Europe, in America here. They do shenanigans. But there's no way in the world you carry your two leg and say you dey go destroy ballot boxes. You dey go destroy voting machines. There's no way, it cannot happen. Never. No matter how highly placed you are, the law will be applied to you irrespective of your personality. Even though there are shenanigans, it happens because of the desperation of politicians. But in terms of security, I don't think the police have lived up to 1% of their obligation in providing adequate security to ensure peace and credibility in our elections in Nigeria.
Fair point. Fair point there. Tony, what's your take? Listening to that video that we played, do you think Nigerian police has become a distraction at the election?
I think it would be wrong to just single out the police as the bad boy in this whole process. I don't subscribe to that. Okay. I have often said that there's a problem. The president appoints the IGP, and if he appoints an IGP that is opposed to whatever is his personal view or intention or whatever, he'll be removed. And so the IGP will be acting based.
But the IGP can actually act professionally. It's you can so you can actually say certain things cannot be done, but professionally, and it won't be done. So
that is why I'm trying to build a background, because if we just indict the police, then we are not really facing the issues the way squarely the way it should. I think there's a problem with a fundamental issue with our politics. Um, I mean, if you if you look at Anambra State or Cross River State, we don't seem to have had the only time we have an issue in Anambra State was when someone was not favorably disposed to the governor that was there. I think that was the period of Ngige or something, and there was this Okoto thing, and so someone wanted to be in control, and there was some resistance, and so you had that. But if you look at Cross River State, we have had, yes, we have had states where people have governed and they gone. For Cross River State is a good example. Would never have heard of, one governor leaving and trying to control and trying to ensure that he's still influential and he dictates and he controls the resources and all that and all that. So basically, the politics that we're playing here is that people still want to hold on to the structure and they will do everything that they can, to make sure that they perpetuate their influence and their authority, even when naturally when you are no longer a governor, you are gone. So when you are no longer a president, you are gone. So I won't put the blame just on the police. Ideally, if we are practicing the presidential system the way it should be, just like we're not copying exactly from America the way it operates, there should be independence. You put a man there, you let him do his job. And then if anybody is infringing on your ability to do your job, to discharge your duties and responsibilities fairly, you have the option to resign. Ukiwe did it, even at the risk to his life. When he felt that, listen, I can't, he left, So I think the problem with our politics is that it's not being played the way it should be played. And so the man who is in office because he wants to retain his position, integrity is not what we see in play in our politics. I think what they do is mainly Machiavelli, the end justifies the means. But let us go back to River State, So the thing, like I said, in River State is these two guys were friends and they were getting on. So at what point, what happened? At what point did they fall out? What were the issues? What was said? What was the agreement? Because a man cannot claim that his beard was shaved in his absence. It's not possible. So there is a critical, the disagreement is based on certain things that were probably agreed a priori, and now they are disagreeing because one now has control and is saying, listen, you have to give me a leeway to do my job. And the other one is saying, maybe this is not the agreement. I put you there, and therefore this is the agreement, and therefore you must kowtow to me, otherwise there's going to be trouble. So it's not just the police. You can talk about the military. You can talk about INEC. You can talk about politicians. All the levels, the legislators, all the levels, the checks and balances that are supposed to be there, they are not operating. INEC is supposed to be independent. Is he independent? You know the answer. So let's not just talk about, and then of course the followership. Deliberately, there's a deliberate attempt and policy to pauperize the followership. So that, just like a chicken or a goat, you throw bits of rice and so on, they come and they eat, and they're gone. So until we restructure, we retool our political system, and the people take control of the system themselves. Because right now, the politicians are in control, and they know you are useless. We don't need you, so they can do anything they like with election. And then nobody's going to ask them. Nobody's going to recall anybody. There are no sanctions, nothing. So and that's it. So if it is possible for us to decide that this is not the way to go, if we want Nigeria to attain the greatness that we're all aspiring to, the journey, this trajectory is not the way we should go. It's one that is almost rudderless, and then we just be going round and round and round in circles. So, but I think there's a lesson to learn from what just happened in River State today. If it is true that the police are not there and the people are voting and everything is orderly, it shows you, it tells us something, and it tells the police something. It tells the leadership of the police something. It tells the River State people something, that they need to sit down and do away with all this mechanization by politicians, by people who try to endanger the lives and of the citizens. Because all this, in the nutshell, all that is happening today is not a win-win for River State. It's negative because the governor has not been able to, hasn't had a free hand to face the task for which he is elected, quote and unquote. So I think those are the critical issues. We really need to ensure, in the first place, the governor, in my opinion, the election that brought him in wasn't free and fair. We all know that. So these are part of the consequences, and we should learn. In our politics, that if you garbage in, you will garbage out.
Garbage out.
Every step there.
Thank you very much, Tony. So we're rounding up now. So Alex, do you
sorry.
think police should be? Do you think police should be? Nigerians should be thinking of doing away with police in the elections?
Thank you very much. I want to use this opportunity to quickly bring us something to our mind. I would like to be private when it comes to political issue and relation with the police, but my awareness is that let's look at the vulnerability in the police community, right? First, let's talk about the staffing, corruption, community relation they are doing, community relationship. Now, last time we did a research and also we had a training partnership with the community police. What we find out is that not only the prison are overcrowded, but the police environment, their pay, their uniform, even their family expenses are very poor. When I mean very poor. So majority of this issue increase the vulnerability of our security forces. So I won't blame someone who is vulnerable in that approach. I know they sign up to protect the community, but that's why I was talking from the beginning, that we need to look at it in a big picture when we talk about citizenship. These guys, without uniform, they are also citizens of the country without uniform. So we must be very careful, because if they are vulnerable, all these things will be coming up. You know what I mean? You see politicians bribing them or having issue that they are taking advantage of polling booths with the police. Although let's see what will happen in the future. We are not quite sure the outcome of this election, because everything is still ongoing. But police are very vulnerable. They need more support. The money we are seeing they are throwing around in the political realm and all that is not getting to this.
Come back in. So go ahead. Now, Alex, you're muted. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, it's not supporting our community when we talk about the vulnerability of the police. So they face high level of challenge and inequality.
Yeah, but Alex, that's not, you didn't, you maybe because of the work you do, you try to play a smart one without addressing the question and telling us police are vulnerable. Of course, we know. But is it because of the vulnerability of the police that makes them, what we have seen today, as Tony said, he doesn't want to judge or do a final conclusion from one sample, because River State is a sample. But in your case, you're telling us how vulnerable they are. But I put it to you also, those in Edo, your own state, who collected 10,000 were also vulnerable, and they sold their votes. So if police does the wrong thing, because they live in shanties, aren't they actually digging their own early graves? Because they ought to have stayed to the, true to themselves, ensuring that they do the right thing in order for the right people to come in, eventually help them and their children, rather than help perpetrate and encourage the madness, and the cycle continues. So you haven't addressed that. You're telling us how vulnerable they are. Of course, we know they are vulnerable. Every Nigerian is vulnerable as well, but it is a choice to do the right thing. And if the right thing is done by an aggregation of a people, that means the greater number of people will be doing the right thing. And the police are the
100%.
ones out
You're
there.
100% right. I'm not supporting the corruption or the issue at the outcome of police behavior. What they were saying, they're expressing their concern, their evidence that police are not here. We are peaceful, you know. This is community that we expect police to be the one promoting peace, promoting security, but they are expressing that we are okay. There's no problem here. Last time we had police, this is what happened. This is what happened. Yes, I feel for them. But not to leave it in that approach that yes, it's good for police not to go there so that they have peace. But the back door is also there. Now these guys, we have the tough guys, the senior guys in the police, but the under guys who are on this mission, some of them collect things from this chairman, local leader, local politician to do their physical work, because you're talking about the practical activity going on that police are supporting the politician. So now, what will bring that thing into place? Because of their vulnerability. That is why I just make that point that this is the area they are also facing challenges in every community, not just in River.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, gentlemen, so far as I was showing us before, the election that been at so far announced, the Action People's Congress, which we can safely call the new PDP in Rivers State, has won. That's what it is, Action People's Congress, APP. So they've won. That means Fubara has won Wike in this case. By Monday, maybe Wike might use the instrumentality of the court to win Fubara again. But for now, this game is 1-0. Maybe by Monday it might change to 1-1. Politics is a game. It's like football. You win today, tomorrow they might win you. That's how it is. But from all indications, with the exception of the Eche local government, every other local government, so far declared was won by the APP. That is the new PDP in Rivers State. PDP 1.0. That's PDP 2.0. That's what it is. And also, some people are not smiling already. Some let me share these pictures with us. Some are already saying that this is what is happening in Rivers State, that the structures of Wike is being bulldozed. I mean, literally, in this case, you can see that this house that is being bulldozed is now nicknamed the Wike structure. And you can see the bulldozer there doing, it would be unfair to use the word justice, but doing political stuff to the building, the way they do. Don't forget that Wike did it during the COVID lockdown, and El Rufai of Kaduna then did it when he disagreed with some of his political opponents. I mean, politics in Nigeria sometimes can only make your head go kind of spin around how people come up with such silly concepts to do things in this way. Now, finally, gentlemen, before I let us go, I want us to listen to this once more and take your reactions to this. Then we'll call it a day. Let's listen to this uninterrupted.
Our people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As we are talking.
With the video, I'm not able to bring the video. As I said with the video, that the video,
Wike's soldiers, Wike's police, whoever, had been flying over my house and my compound in the last 30 minutes with 2 helicopter gunships. I have the capacity to contain them. Nigeria cannot surrender to Wike. Rivers people will not surrender to Wike. Ijaw people will not surrender to Wike. I have the capacity to contain them. And the government knows that I have the capacity to contain them. As I've been containing other people. Let them tell Wike to back off. I am 60 years old. I've never been afraid of death. I've always embraced death. I'd always embraced death. So I am not afraid of death. So all those who are there, when the helicopter is shot down, let nobody blame them. I didn't go and look for the helicopter to shoot them down. I will shoot down the helicopter. I will shoot down the helicopter. I swear by Allah that I will shoot down the helicopter. Whoever is commanding them should be warned that I will shoot the helicopter down. Enough is enough. That Tinubu will hand over Rivers State into slavery. The Wike is nobody. Without this panaflex, it's nobody. Wike is nobody. Let them remove this thing from him now. I think he has billions. He knows the market. He has bought guns for his men. Let them remove this thing from him. And let us see. Go and vote. I will go and vote. I will vote and you see me vote. Nothing will happen. We will vote. Result will be announced. Chairman will be sworn in. And we will see. Chairman will be sworn in and we will see. I don't want to talk too much. We'll not talk too much. There's a military formation in this community. We did not look for their trouble. Your father Madu is a Mungu. You cowardly Igbos. Do you think I'm like you people? You will see the capacity, okay? They will do until we go and catch Wike with our hands. And then you see our capacity. With the soldiers, we go and catch him with our hands.
Now, gentlemen, to conclude, what's your final take? Let me start with Tony, who is smiling there. Tony, what's your final word on this? And your final
Very sad.
before we call it today.
Very sad, very sad. I mean, this is the kind of country that we have. Impunity everywhere. And you don't blame him. You set him up. And so he can speak this way. It's what we find all over the place. So that's what we're saying. It's not just the police. It's not just the entire system needs a rejigging. We need to retool the entire system. This shouldn't happen in a distant society. It's it's I'm not looking at the morality of it, but this is impunity. This should not be allowed to happen. Let me stop there.
Onero.
Yeah. Well, on Asari Dokubo, Asari Dokubo is a militant. So his level of aggression is in his spirit and in his body. Unfortunately, he's already growing old. But that notwithstanding, he still have some boys that are loyal to him and that can also do his bidding. However, he is not bigger than the government. He is not. But in this case, he is loyal to the present federal government to an extent, even though he speaks against them sometimes. But he's loyal to them. Majority of our politicians, just to go back to the issue of police before I conclude on Asari Dokubo, if you will give me some time. Our politicians, I don't know, from the PDP, the APC, just for full disclosure, I support Peter Obi. I'm loyal to Peter Obi. Some people like him, want him to play the kind of politics that the Obasanjo played, the Tinubus are playing, the whatever, the Wikes, the Oshomoles are playing. Obi, from my observation, is not that kind of man. For full disclosure, I support Peter Obi, his ideologies, and his kind of politics. These politicians, majority of them, I would say 95% of them, they look at the vulnerabilities everywhere in every institution and want to exploit or capture it. Be it the police, they want to see where the police is weak and make sure that weakness, they make it weaker the more. If they are not paying them enough, of course, they don't want to pay them much, or they will pick a few of them and make them feel good. You understand? Those ones will now do their bidding on behalf of others. They looked at the judiciary. When Peter Obi contested for governor, when Oshomole contested for governor, and it was rigged out, the judiciary then did not have people that are cousins of Wike, brothers of the former CGN, sisters or daughters of Ariwola or Bakashua wife and all the likes. You understand? The judiciary then they have it. But the politicians saw that loophole and they began to plug it and bring in their brothers, their sisters, their uncles. There is no political issue that goes to the judiciary that I will trust anything that comes from it. No. They've lost me. As far as I'm concerned, they lost me. In any other issues, they may be a little fair, but on political issues, they've lost me. They've been completely captured. The police is captured, the judiciary is captured, the military is captured. Just name it. The state is captured. So they always fight to want to hold it down. Who suffers? The people. We are talking about restructuring the infrastructure or what's it called? How things are being done generally. These people are benefiting from it. They will not want to change it. Back to Asari. Asari said he will shoot down a helicopter. I don't know what kind of helicopter that is flying through his house. He was not specific. He didn't show us video of it. Whether it's police or military. If he shoot down military helicopter, of course, somebody is flying the helicopter. If he has other people in there, the thing will crash. It probably will crash in his house and also fly him. He may not know where it will crash if he try to shoot it down. So I don't understand what he is talking about. But the government, like Ogatoni said, the level of impunity, it percolates from the very top. The presidency, the ministers, the state governors are worse. The state governors are worse. They complain. PDP in those states is complaining that they've been rigged out, that they won election. PDP had opportunity from 1999 to put Nigeria in the right path, but they started election manipulation, writing of illegal election results. In Obasanjo's time, people were on queue voting, and they are announcing the results in Abuja and every place. The APC learned from the PDP and made it worse. I want to be frank here, because Nigerians must begin to tell themselves and ourselves the truth before we begin to find solutions to addressing the issues. Because this majority of the politicians, they don't care. The people, for me, I supported Peter. I thought because of the 2022 Electoral Act, things will be better. My dear, in 2027, if they, of course, these people that are benefiting from it will not want to change it. To finalize my thought,
Okay.
Asari Dokubo, whatever he wants to do, if the government allow him to do it, he will do it. But if he knows that if he does anything stupid, the government, even though it's a party with the present leader of the country, they will put him where he does not like.
So do you
Thank
think you think the government has what it takes to put him where he may not like? Whom?
Of course.
Okay. Do you
Of
have?
course. But the point. Go ahead.
Do you know of any single individual that is close to the head of this administration that has done wrong, that has been put in the right place? You name one, not two, just one.
No. That's what I'm saying. The government allowed the impunity.
Exactly. So we'll leave it at that.
The government allowed the impunity.
And it will continue.
But if him himself is not a threat,
it's a conditionality. I mean,
you understand? If he's not a threat, he's saying it now. If he carries it out, then the government will turn around and tell him, "Oh, we are the government." That's how the thing works.
Okay.
That's how it works in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
When they feel he's not a threat, he's saying it now. They are watching him. If he carry out the act.
In America, let me ask you, in America, if the American police or whoever is on a surveillance and someone makes such threats that if this flies over my house again, I'm going to shoot it down. And
you get a visit from the FBI. They'll knock your door.
Okay.
They will come knock your door. They will knock your door. You answer some questions. But not that they just go lock you up. You understand? The system don't work that way. There's freedom of speech here. You can make any kind of bombast. That's why sometimes.
Of course, not that they will lock you up. I mean.
Yes, but you will get a knock. FBI will come your door, not local police.
Calm down. I'm glad Alex is here. Alex lives in the United Kingdom. A couple of weeks ago, there were some racial, um, sort of tension that was in the United Kingdom. And the British police did not hesitate to start knocking on people's door, people who made online comment in support or even subtle threat to citizens that are not of the same color with them. And some of them are now regretting, making such Facebook posts. Not to talk of sitting on a video and make certain. Anyway, I mean, that's why some will, say that the nation is, descending into the abyss. Some will say in an animal republic or animal farm. And this is a clear depiction of what George Orwell's novel, Animal Farm, where in the quote unquote the family of the pig, some animal are more equal than the other. Thank you very much, gentlemen. This is the much we can take. It's been a pleasure, a very fantastic evening with you guys. Thank you, Sir Alex. I don't know, say whether this one, sir, na Benin, sir, I've been a UK, sir. I don't know.
I'm an Edoma. I'm a
Okay,
full-time Edoma.
Edo, sir, okay. Anthony, okay, and Honoro. Guys, thank you very much
Thank you
for
so
joining
much.
me.
Thank you, guys.
It's a pleasure. Guys, if you don't mind, you guys can share, like, and share the stream, share it in with many others. Those of you watching, please stay with us. I may have to come back later if the results, obviously, if the governor eventually speaks, because I think the governor would have to address Rivers people tonight after the election results are being collated. That's the much we can take. Gentlemen, once more, as I said before, thank you very much for being my guest this evening. And I say from here, good night.
Ah, la, la, la.